All right, silly season is over. We're starting to see what these teams really are, what they really can do. Grace Remington here in the 24/7 Sports Studio with Brandon Marcello, who's here to give us his winners and losers of Week 4. Brandon, first, you're going to the ACC.
Yeah, give me Clemson and quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. So much criticism of Clemson going into the season, so much criticism going through the first few weeks of the season, and boy, did they answer it with just an offensive juggernaut going through Wake Forest. And by the way, a good Wake Forest team that loves to force turnovers, and yet DJ Uiagalelei played arguably one of his best games, if not the best game of his career. Combined for more than 420 yards, threw for 5 touchdowns. And get this, Clemson's receivers weren't getting wide open in this game. DJ was having to throw them open and also throw some perfect passes over the back shoulder. Just some great throws in this game. Big time gamer by DJ Uiagalelei. The idea that he's going to be benched and replaced by Cade Klubnik, the 5-star freshman, that quiets down for now. And here's the big thing for me with DJ. Despite his receivers not being world beaters, DJ has 10 touchdown passes through 4 games, only 1 interception. Last season in all 13 games, he only had 9 touchdown passes. So he's already eclipsed what he did all of last season.
Wow, and I think his patience and poise in the pocket, it started early on in the game. That's not something you would have seen last season. Okay, your winner number 2, we're talking about a basketball school again.
And for that matter, a basketball state, the state of Kansas. I love what I'm seeing from those two big-time programs in the state of Kansas. The Jayhawks, number 1. I've got them ranked in my top 25 right now. Absolutely thrilling to watch on offense, led by quarterback Jalen Daniels. Yesterday, he was 19 of 23 Saturday, 324 yards, 4 touchdown passes. He also rushed for 83 yards and rushed for another touchdown. Absolutely electric. A guy that I think needs to start getting some play in the Heisman Trophy discussion. In the wave of wheat there, Jalen Daniels has emerged as someone to really watch, I believe, as they continue to go through the Big 12 here. Can they keep winning games? If they do, and Jalen Daniels is putting up the big numbers, he should be in that conversation. And how about Kansas State going on the road and upsetting OU? We call it an upset, but the fact of the matter is Chris Kleiman, the head coach there at Kansas State, is 3-1 against the Sooners in his career there. So not all too surprising. In fact, I think a lot of people had this game circled on their calendar as a potential upset. What's really disappointing for OU is that defense. We thought they had turned a corner under Brent Venables coming over from Clemson as the head coach. Not necessarily the case. And man, the coming out party of Adrian Martinez. So great to see after going through all those struggles as Nebraska's starting quarterback for all those years. Absolutely tore apart OU. Just blew their doors off and then iced the game away with a fantastic run down the sideline. A big night for Kansas quarterbacks and a big day for the state of Kansas.
Martinez was awesome to watch, coming up clutch when it mattered. Kansas State joining the AP poll at number 25. Jayhawks right there on the edge at 26. Okay, Brandon, your final winner.
I'm going to go with USC playing late at night in a game that no one could find on television because it wasn't on television. It was streaming. They were impressive, not necessarily offensively. Caleb Williams completing less than 50% of his passes, but he came up big in the big moments when he needed to, hitting Jordan Addison for a perfect pass to the sideline and for the touchdown to win the game and leading that offense down the field for the game-winning drive. But how about USC's defense? Forcing 4 turnovers on the road in a hostile environment against a very good Oregon State team. An Oregon State team, by the way, that I have ranked right now. Oregon State had control of this entire game, but USC's defense kept them in it. USC's defense answered the call. They are now plus 14 in turnover margin this season. That's number 1 in the country. They keep playing mistake-free football like that on offense, and a defense is complementing them with a lot of turnovers. USC can go far and is certainly a playoff contender and maybe a national championship contender.
Yeah, I think the mark of a good team is they know how to win in all types of ways. Okay, let's go to the other side now. Your first loser of Week 4.
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. No one's really talking about this, but the Badgers went on the road to Ohio State, got their doors blown off them. They lost by 31 points, but even the final score was not indicative of just about how far apart these two programs were on the football field. And it opens the door to me to a big problem with Wisconsin. Are they trending downward? It seems that way over the last 3 years. Listen to this. They are 14-10 in Big Ten play since a loss to Illinois back in 2019. They have not been in contention for the Big Ten West. I think we're giving them the benefit of the doubt every season here because we're accustomed to seeing them near the top of the division and near the top of the Big Ten. The problem is they're just not showing up against the big-time opponents. They're getting the doors blown off of them. In 10 of those losses in the Big Ten, 6 of those 10 losses have come by double digits since the midpoint of the 2019 season. There is some problems with that Badgers program under Paul Chryst.
Yeah, giving up 31 first-half points to Ohio State. Badgers just aren't the kind of team who can recover from that. Okay, Brandon, your loser number 2.
I'm going to go with Miami. We're going to pick on the easy target here. Mario Cristobal, just a big-time personality, goes into Miami. We're expecting great things, and boy, they have laid an egg the last 2 weeks. Unable to score a touchdown at Texas A&M, and then you go back home in front of your home crowd and lose badly to Middle Tennessee, a Middle Tennessee team with one loss and not very impressive. They give up 500-plus yards, couldn't do anything, couldn't combat them in the trenches. Get this, man. Middle Tennessee, their first 5 touchdowns in that game, they only had 6 first downs on those 5 touchdowns. They gave up explosive play after explosive play. Miami is not back. They need to get back on the recruiting trail, get some big-time playmakers. They will under Mario Cristobal. That's his MO. But also, watch out what's going on at quarterback. Tyler Van Dyke benched in the second half for Jake Garcia. What do they do there from going here on out? Miami, not back. Give them a couple more years in the recruiting circuit and the transfer portal.
Yeah, a rebuilding year. No one's expecting them to go out and win a title in year 1 under Cristobal, but we are expecting them to beat Middle Tennessee, so there's all types of ugly over there. Okay, and Brandon, your final loser of week 4, who is that?
Auburn, the worst win in Auburn history, beating Mizzou in a game they should have lost 3 different times. I won't bore you with the details. We saw the missed kicks, the fumble into the end zone by Mizzou at the end of the game, which was heartbreaking for Mizzou. But this is the first loss by Mizzou when they give up 220 yards or less since 2000. Just terrible. There's some dark magic going on there at Auburn. The magic of Jordan-Hare Stadium, always on their side, but there's something dark and weird going on there. Auburn should have lost this game. Things are going well under Brian Harsin. He's probably going to be fired this season. I think if they lost to Mizzou, that would have ended up happening, but now he gets a stay of execution. Nothing going right on the Plains. Brian Harsin's recruiting class right now ranks 55th in the 24/7 Sports Composite, which is second to last in the SEC. They got to get going. Unless there's a miracle there on the Plains, this will be chalked up as the worst win in Auburn history and just a stay of execution for Brian Harsin, who certainly looks like he's going to be on his way out.
At one point, 12 consecutive points in that game. Punts. No one deserved to win it. All right, Brandon, Marcello, thank you for your time.